Hi, this is Holly from the Sweet Simple Things, and welcome to my channel where we make healthy and nourishing recipes the whole family will love. Make sure you hit subscribe to see all the latest recipes. I am so excited to show you how I take so many of my favorite traditional Christmas cookie recipes and adapt them to be used with fresh milled flour. Fresh milled flour is not only super nutritious, but once you get used to the taste, you really just don't like the taste of bagged white flour. It is just so delicious, nutty, complex compared to bagged white flour, and it's time we start using it in our cookies. So I'm going to show you how I do that here. These are everybody in my family's favorite Christmas cookies, the peanut butter blossoms. So I'm going to start with 1 stick of butter, a half cup of peanut butter, and I do prefer to use the peanut butter that is just a little thicker, not like the totally natural organic kind that's very thin. I just find that using natural peanut butter, but that still has some added oil to make it thicker like this, just yields a better cookie. But I understand that might not work for everybody's dietary preferences. So if you'd like to try using kind of more the runny peanut butter, you might need to add a little more flour. But anyway, to the butter and peanut butter, we add a half cup dark brown sugar and a half cup white sugar. And I use organic sugar, so that's why mine's a little bit brown. But I like to use dark brown sugar as opposed to light brown, though light brown is fine if that's what you have. Dark brown sugar has a higher molasses content, which will contribute to a softer cookie. So that's why I like it, but light brown certainly works as well. So we're going to cream that together before we add the rest of our ingredients. Now we'll add 1 egg, 2 tablespoons milk, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and then work this into our butter, peanut butter, and sugar mixture. Now I'm just scraping down the sides of the bowl a little bit to make sure it all gets evenly mixed, and then we're going to prep our dry ingredients. Here I am using a total of 230 grams of fresh milled flour. I'm using 115 hard white wheat and 115 soft white wheat. Soft white wheat is often used for things where you would use baking soda or baking powder because it doesn't have as much gluten-forming properties in it. But that's why I like to mix it with a little bit of hard white wheat for cookies, because I like cookies to have just a little bit of chew. So I do a 50-50. Anyway, mix that with a teaspoon of baking soda and about a half a teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to add this to our wet mixture. Okay, at this point, you can see that the dough is very, very soft. One thing that's really important to do with fresh milled flour cookies is to give the dough some time to refrigerate and set, because the thing with fresh milled flour is it just does not fully absorb the hydration of your recipe into the bran right away. It needs a little bit of time to do that. So what dough looks like when the moisture isn't fully absorbed is it looks like pretty mushy. This is true for basically anything you're using fresh milled flour for. If you feel like it's too mushy, it's because it needs more time for the hydration to just fully soak in. And so that's what we're seeing here with the cookies. You can see that this looks more like a batter. It's not like a cookie dough. So we're going to scoop it into our bowl and put it in the fridge for 2 hours. After 2 hours, that's plenty of time for the hydration to be fully absorbed, plus a little bit of refrigeration time just helps the dough set and not spread too much when you bake it. So I'm going to cover this, stick this in the fridge for 2 hours, and then we'll form our cookies. Okay, 2 hours later, and we're going to start rolling these out. You'll see here the dough is perfect now. It's very malleable, so I'll be able to scoop it wonderfully, but it doesn't stick to me anymore. It's not goopy. I love using cookie scoops, so I'm using a standard size cookie scoop, scooping out a portion and then rolling it in some sugar before placing it on the baking sheet. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this with all of my cookie dough, and we'll bake these at 375. I find that these bake a little faster than when they're made with white flour, so I did about 7 minutes. So yeah, let's just get these all set up, and then I'll show you how we get these in the oven and bake and pop in the Hershey Kisses when we're done. Okay, here we are after about 7 minutes. Here's how I know they're perfectly done. The tops are crackled. You're starting to get a little bit of light brown, but they are not getting very brown because then you're starting to overbake them a little bit. But anyway, once the tops are cracked, you get a little bit of golden brown, you pull them out, and we're gonna pop in our Hershey chocolates. You can use chocolate stars, use whatever you want, but I'm using regular Hershey Kisses for these. So we'll just pop these in. You want to do these as soon as you pull them out of the oven so that they don't break the cookies. And then let these cool on the cookie sheets until they're set, and then you're ready to go. Remember that cookies will continue to cook a little bit as they cool. That's why we leave them on the cookie pan, and we're just going to let them firmly set up while they're cooling on the pan. And then you can, once they're set and you know you can move them without breaking the cookie, then you can move them to a cooling rack if you want to. It's up to you. But these are my family's favorite cookies. My kids were so excited when they found out I was making a video on these yesterday, and they went crazy. So we're enjoying these for Thanksgiving because I wanted to get this video going, and I hope you guys enjoy.